What drives people to commit crimes?
Maybe no one's taking care of you and you don't have no choice but to commit crimes.
Not having a positive role model in life.
They grew up in abused homes. The lack of opportunity.
People who are poverty-stricken.
They hate. They have a lot of anger.
Drugs and alcohol.
Excitement.
Because of greed.
The media, the TV.
The peer pressure.
It's not your friends that make you, it's your decisions that make you.
Yeah. You have a choice, regardless.
What does drive people to commit crimes? What drives any of us to do the wrong thing and then justify our behavior by blaming others? Dr. Stanton Saminow has devoted his career to exploring these questions and to helping those who want to change learn one of the hardest lessons any of us can learn: accepting responsibility in a finger-pointing world.
What drives people to commit crimes? We heard from the people in the videos what they had to say. Now I'm talking to you who have committed crimes. Tell me, from your own experience, what drove you to commit crimes?
Well, for me, it was a lack of financial and emotional support. I didn't have much family. As a child, I was always alone. I think a lot of that had to do with, I felt a need to be stimulated, for excitement.
I got shot when I was 12 years old when I wasn't even in for my gang yet. And this is what happened to me. I lost my hand. That just put a lot of hate in me. That caused my emotional state to really numb myself, numb my heart. I really didn't care no more whether I lived or die, right? Because of this accident that happened to me, right? So I think that's what it was for me.
I was desperate. I was desperate for attention, desperate for help.
Okay, anybody else in terms of what drove you to commit crimes?
You know, having 16 cousins from my neighborhood was kind of rough, not doing what they were doing. And being in gang territory, the crime and commitments come with it.
Okay, well, thank you for your answers. Now I want to introduce another idea, and that is when you think about what you've done, when you think about your responses to situations, consider this. The way that we act, the way we behave, it's a result of the way we think. There are certain patterns of thinking that lead to hurting other people and sometimes to getting hurt ourselves. So behavior is the result of thinking.
Behavior is the result of thinking. So behavior that results in hurting others or ourselves we call errors in thinking.
Now what I'd like you to do is to watch a video. This is of a young man whose behavior got him into trouble. As you watch the interview, consider what errors in thinking he might have made. You said you liked fighting.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Why you liked it, what it was about fighting.
I got a kick out of it. I like throwing my fists around and seeing where I stood amongst other people that fought too.
And any thoughts about why this became such a big thing?
It was just a release. I always felt real good afterwards, real, relaxed, and I was relaxed while I was doing it, but I was real, I felt better about myself afterwards. All the anger that I had built up the week before that or 2 weeks before that, however long it was just all gone, and I could just sit back and go to the beach and, I wasn't the type of person to really talk out my problems. I'd, build them up, and then I'd get into a fight, and I'd be happy afterwards, It was like my little individual therapy session with myself.
Did you have any learning problems at all?
Yeah, they said that I had ADD when I was growing up, or I guess I would still have it.
How did it show itself?
I would just get up and leave if I didn't like the class. I would just walk around. I'd go to the playground, just walk out of class and leave.
But if you liked the class,
I would
you'd
stick
stay.
around, yeah.
So if you like something, you could focus on it and do it.
Yeah.
But it was the things you didn't like.
If I didn't like it, I would just, I'm over it. I'm out of here. I'd leave.
So if you look at this life that you had lived up to the time you were in prison, and spending every cent you got, quitting jobs, using jobs for drug customers, drug use, drug sales, the whole bit, the fighting,
Why do you think you took this path?
As much as people had tried to steer me the other direction, I don't think what they were saying to me really hit home, you know. Yeah, they would tell me it, but nobody would help me. They would tell me do this, do that, whatever. And when you're so deep in that lifestyle, you have nobody. Somebody can tell you to do it all day long, but if they don't tell you how, they don't give you resources to help you, what they're saying really doesn't mean jack.
Tell me more what you mean.
My grandma would tell me get a job, you know, and I would just go and get one of those telemarketing jobs, whatever, and I'd quit it after 3 weeks, 3 months, whatever, 2 months. I would never hold it down, and she'd be like, well, you would just tell me, get a job. I'm like, where? Where can I get a job? I have no job experience, you know? I mean, I'm not gonna go get a job working at a gas station. I don't want to do that. I want to, you know, I want to go to school. I want to get a real job, you know?
Do you think the schools could have done anything to have made a difference as far as the path you took?
I'm sure there's something they could have done. What exactly, I don't know. I just know they didn't really do much at all, except threaten me, you know? And threats just go right over my head. Threats don't mean anything to me, you know?
You said you had bad anger issues. Why do you think that was?
Nobody ever taught me how to manage my anger. I mean, you're not born with anger management skills, I don't think. I mean, I grew up around my dad, who was, in my opinion, one of the most angry people I've ever met in my life.
So, what errors in thinking did you see?
He said he used to walk out of classes that he wasn't interested in, and that's one thing I did notice, and that's one thing I learned myself, is that you have to discipline yourself. You have to sit there, as uncomfortable as you are, as much as you don't like it. It takes a lot of hard work to be successful.
Well, you make a very good point. Throughout this interview, he is basically saying,